Hey, what's up, everybody? This is PhillyRon of MUTtips.com, your one-stop shop for Ultimate Team tips, tricks, collection info, and card reviews. Our goal is to make your MUT experience awesome. I'm in front of you guys today, and we're going to talk about a topic that I mentioned in one of my previous videos: player rates or card pull rates. Now, and this is going to be a little, again, I don't believe it's controversial. It's informative. We know that EA hasn't put that information out, but because of their partnership with a website out there, we can actually find that information. All right. We know constantly that EA points people to MUThead. And there's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to the guys over at MUThead. Oh, real quick, guys, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment underneath. So this is how I went about it. If you go onto MUThead, all right, there is an option on their menu bar that says MUT database, and it actually lets you click on MUT 15 players. When you click on that, it'll bring up every player that is in Ultimate Team. So essentially, if I'm bringing up every player that is in Ultimate Team, I can tell you how many players there are. I can also tell you basically how many players, when I start filtering it out, how many players are in each tier, how many players are at a certain level of quality. And when I say quality, I'm looking at overall. So first things first, I'm going to flash a quick screenshot of a Pro Pack, Ultimate Team Pro Pack, and how they actually advertise it. It says the fans' favorite pack contains at least one gold or elite and a mix of 9 other players and team items. So you get one gold or elite. If I was to go right to the next item next to it currently, which is a veteran pack, it says contains at least 2 gold or elite players, 2 badges, a mix of 8 other player and team items. So I'm trying to put a little bit of validity behind that. So let's find out how many gold players are in Ultimate Team. So what I do is I go to MUThead, I click on the gold tier, and I'm just going to pull up all the players that are gold. And essentially I come up with, the way MUThead listed is 25 players per page. They have 75 pages, but they have 74 full pages. So it's basically 74 pages times 25, all right, which is going to give me 1,850. And on the 75th page, they only have 1 player. So it's basically 1,851 players that are in the gold tier in Madden Ultimate Team. All right, so that's how we get our number for our gold. And I'm going to touch on something else after this. All right, now let's go ahead and move over to the elites. Now, when we go to elites, again, we're going to click on the elite. And what I want to do is just pull up how many players are elite in Madden 15. All right, in Ultimate Team 15. So again, 25 players per page. They have 37 full pages, and on the 38th page there are 9 additional players. So the math is quite easy. 25 times 37 gives you 925. 925 plus 9 gives you 934. So there are 934 elite players in MUT 15. All right. Our total number of gold and elite players are 2,785. Again, guys, don't trust me. I want you to go out there and check for yourself. You know, I always tell people, I don't want you ever accepting anything that anybody tells you. That's not a slap in the face to me or anyone. It's just that you always need to verify your information. I work in my actual day job is I kind of analyze and audit numbers. And the people who are around me, we question each other, even though we are all subject matter experts in each of our areas. But the reason why we are so good at what we do is, number one, we don't bring any egos to the table. And we understand that what we're trying to do is make sure that everybody gets accurate information. So what I want you to do is verify my information. If I'm wrong, if a number is wrong, you quote me, you let me know. That's just how it is. Same thing with EA. I will hope that they would let us know, you know, and that's what these rates, that's what me putting this video together on rates is all about. All right, so let's keep moving on. So we know that there are 1,851 gold players. We know that there are 934 elite players. Let's break that down a little bit more. All right, because numbers don't mean anything. You guys have heard people say in the past that we've done 300% of over so and so years. Well, here's the one thing about numbers. If you don't give what that number means, there is no validity to that number. So I can't say that anybody increased 300% if I don't know what they increased from. You see what I'm saying? So someone just saying, hey, we're up 50%, we're up 70%, we're up 100, 200, 300%. That paints a picture that everything is going superb when it actually could be, but without a number, a baseline number, that percentage means nothing. That's why I'm very adamant about telling you guys the numbers and telling you about how I go to get to the numbers, because you at least have a baseline number to start with. You have a way to check my work. Without having those numbers, nothing that I say is valid. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that I'm putting some good information out in front of you guys. And I want you guys to start looking at this as consumers who support a product that EA is giving to us. But in support, there is nothing wrong with you questioning anything or you being provided information. All right. As we continue. Okay, what I wanted to do was I broke down how many of these players in both of these tiers, gold or elite, are a 90 or better. All right. Because essentially, if you're not a 90 or better, you're not playing for anyone. I know there are guys who have theme teams, 88s and all that crap. Means nothing to me. All right. You need to be at least a 90 or better to get on the squad. And right now, you can't even get on my squad if you're sitting at a 90. I got like one player kind of borrowing who's starting for me, but that's because I don't have enough money to get a player to replace him at the moment. But that's the only person. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the golds. And out of 1,851 gold players, how many of them are a 90 or better? There are only 6. And of those 6, I'm sorry, all 6 of them are kickers or punters. So if someone says, if you look at this and it says contains 2 gold or elite, I'm just letting you know, if you get a gold player, they're not going to be a 90 or above. And if they are, it's a kicker or a punter. All right. It's a kicker or a punter. That's if it's a gold. All right. Now, what's the rate on that? So if 1,851 total gold players, if you pull one that is a 90 or above, that is 1/3 of 1% odds. 1/3 of 1% odds that you're going to pull a gold player that is a 90 or above. And that player is only going to be a kicker or a punter. So you essentially can't really use them. I mean, you can definitely sub one of those guys in, but who really cares about that position in MUT? All right, let's move on. Let's go over to the elite players. We're going to take a look at the elite players. Out of the 934 total elite players, all right, 550 of them, 557 of them are 90 or above. Now, here's the problem with that. If you take a look at this screenshot that I'm going to show on this right now, you'll see that you have players in this tier, in this 90 or above, that require you to complete collections. And there's no way for me to actually filter out that information. But we know for a fact you can't get the 99 Richard Sherman. You have to do every daggone collection. Not every collection, but you basically have to do every set in order to get that. We know that. You know you couldn't pull the 99 Bo Jacks. You had to do a collection on that. There was a potential for you to pull one when they ran that special, but essentially you have to do collections or sets in order to get these players. All right, so that's why that number looks so high. But still, 934 players in elite, 557 of them are 90 or above. All right. And I almost want to say let's take half of it, but that actually comes out to a favorable number. That's 20%. But even that 20% is nothing. If you're going to pull, you get 2 golds or elites, That means if you pull 10 packs, essentially you could get 2 players that are a 90 or above. I think a lot of you guys may actually be happy for that. However, it doesn't work like that. That pull rate is per pack that you open. It doesn't reset. It doesn't say, hey, you didn't get a good card at this particular time, we're going to increase his odds on the next pack. No, that's per pack. You have a 20% chance. And overall, when you add both of them up, you know, the 557 plus the 934 is going to give us, let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. I did the wrong number. So you do 557 plus 6. All right. That's 563 total players in Ultimate Team that are a 90 or above. Out of all of the cards that are in Ultimate Team, only 563 of them are a 90 or above. All right. And if you do that out of that 2785, that's going to give us 20%. But I would say, and you guys know my numbers, you know where my numbers are coming from. You can do the math yourself. You can question me on this, but I'm going to cut that number in half because I know a lot of these are collection. A lot of these are rising stars that boosted up over 90, which you have 6 or 7 of the same players. So I'm cutting that percentage in half to 10%. So when you buy packs, understand this. Those 2 opportunities that you get, or that 1 opportunity that you get, 1 out of every 10 times that you go in there, you have a potential of getting a player that you can actually use. This is PhillyRon. I hope you liked the video. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Peace.